Hey, Krista.
Hey, girl.
We're back for 12 pods of Christmas.
Dun, 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 dun.
Back for day number 8.
I am so excited.
I know. I'm so excited too. So day number 8. So what are we chatting about today?
We're going to talk about social etiquette or even like social norms. I think that probably varies globally and across regions, but things that we consider completely rude and horrible, at least when you live in North America or specifically in Canada. Like these are like no-nos.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are just our personal opinions. Maybe you might not think these are rude, but we think these are rude.
Even if you think they're not, they're rude. It just reminded me of one that I definitely need to talk about that I didn't have here in the notes. But yeah.
Okay. Do you want to start that since you're like ready to go?
Yeah, I'm gonna probably like jump around based on like the notes, but I think it's rude when you're late to something and not communicating to somebody that you're gonna be late.
100%. Whether that's in like a corporate setting or a personal setting or whatever setting it is, if you're going to be late, notify the other person you are running a few minutes late. Do not show up. Like, do not just ghost that person for 15 minutes. Like, it's so rude. I hate that. I hate that.
Especially if there's no good reason to be late. Like, you know, for like somebody, if it's like a house party where there's a big group of people and you show up when you show up, that I don't care about stuff like that. But something that's specific to a time, like a dinner for a bigger group of people, you know, meeting, like having a reservation and like you said, like meetings in the workplace. Yeah, it's fucking rude. Don't do it.
Yeah, and just send them a quick message being like, oh, I'm just going to be 5 minutes late. So the other person is aware that they're not like, oh, is this person coming? Does this person forget? Are they okay? Like, hello?
Well, not even like say you're 5 minutes late. Be realistic about how late you are. Don't say 5 minutes and then it be 30. Shit like that drives me crazy.
Oh, yeah. Valid. And also say sorry or say something to acknowledge that you were late and you apologize for being late.
Yeah. Yes. That is a must.
Yeah. Don't just like ignore it. No.
And also, piggybacking on saying I'm sorry, it's expected in our neck of the woods to say like please and thank you for things. It's not just something that you learn in like some kind of highfalutin Southern family. Like everywhere in Canada, it's like when you ask for something, you say please, and if somebody gives you something, you say thank you. Like, were you raised in like with the cavemen?
Yeah, truly. You know what makes me like super angry every time a person doesn't do this? So I'm in my car and I'm driving. And someone wants to, and when we're stopped or whatever the reason is, and someone will get in front of me for a reason. So I'll like give like I'll like nods and like we'll make eye contact, or I'll you know show them like use the hand gestures to be like, yeah, go ahead, no problem, or I'll leave space. I'll do something to indicate like, yes, I'm allowing you to go in front of me.
Right.
And then they get in front of you and they don't do shit. They don't give you a wave. They don't give you, they don't try to say thank you in any sort of way. That pisses me off.
Oh,
I'm like, screw you. Like, I'm the nice person. You couldn't give me some sort of gesture indicating that you're thankful. Rude.
Yeah, it is the expected custom here that if I give you a right of way to go in front of me or something, you need to raise up your hand and give a wave to acknowledge the person being like, thanks. That is the expectation.
Exactly. 100%. 100%.
It just, the consideration, like.
True that. Well, okay. Speaking of like cars and like transportation vehicles, maybe you're on like a train or a bus or maybe you're like in a public place and you're either listening to music, not wearing headphones, or having a full-on conversation on speakerphone. Like, no.
Yeah.
Not everyone wants to hear a conversation and not everyone wants to hear your music. Put your headphones, put your AirPods, put your whatever headphones you have in your ears and be considerate of people around you.
Please. Like,
Right. Please.
we have enough things in our lives that are stressing us out. I don't want to go postal because you don't know how to like invest in AirPods or earphones. I'm going to one up that one by saying, because I live downtown and I live near the lakeshore, the lakefront. And, you know, in the summer or the spring, obviously there's a lot of people that are hanging out along the boardwalk and just kind of like enjoying the views and stuff. And there'll be people on bicycles. People on bicycles with their Bluetooth speakers blasting music.
Rude.
That also irritates me.
Rude. Just rude.
It's not even like they have a sidecar where they're advertising rides, so they're like blasting music to be like, hey, I can give you a ride around the city. No, they're just there on their little BMX bike, just biking along, blasting dance music.
Yeah. Like, no.
Or reggaeton.
Like, I will glare at someone that's doing that. I will glare at them so hard and be like, you're being rude. But I'm not going to say anything because I'm Canadian and I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to glare at them.
Because Sarah's nice. She's going to like bug out her eyes at you and be like, hate you.
Exactly.
So this episode should be called What is Not Social Etiquette? Because that's what we're talking about. Things that are not appropriate, literally.
Truly. Yeah, that's true.
Those things remind me again, like when we're talking about consideration.
Yeah.
Like not saying excuse me or like sorry when you bump into somebody.
Yeah.
Like you're at the grocery, even somebody's like, you're trying to get around somebody with your cart or you're trying to walk behind somebody, like good old excuse me, accidentally bump into somebody, you say sorry, like that. If you can't abide by those rules, like you can't stay here.
Like you can't. Yeah, for sure. Like I'm the type of person that I will say sorry even though I didn't bump into that person. So it's like if I'm saying sorry,
same.
You better say sorry because you're the one that bumped into me.
Right.
Like, hello.
Exactly. And maybe I'm just saying sorry to give you the clue that you're the one that's supposed to say sorry.
Yeah. Valid. The one that pisses me off, especially now because I have 2 young kids and they're in car seats. If I go to a parking lot and I park my car and I make sure I park my car straight and like right in the middle of the parking space and I go in, do what I have to do with my kids and I come out. And then this dickhole like parks like on the line in the parking lot, like right by my car. I'm like, number 1, you're a dick. Number 2, you couldn't take 3 seconds to straighten your car out so you're in the middle of the parking spot. And number 3, now I have to
get your kid in.
I can't get my freaking kid in because I have like when you have a car seat, you literally have to like open your door like all the way, get your kid in, buckle them in, like do all the things. And now I have to like lose 100 pounds to try to like, skinny my way through and like try to shove my kid in. Like you're a jerk. You're a straight up jerk. I hate when people do that.
Agreed. Again, lack of consideration. And then they get mad if they get their car door dinged.
Yeah.
I think that ties into the bigger issue of like people who just don't respect personal space.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Personal space is like don't get anywhere closer to where my hand extends in front of my face. All around, right? Like that's my personal space. So close talk, don't like those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Etiquette in a bathroom. If I'm in a stall, like stall between, girl, stall between. Like don't come right beside me unless it's full. Yeah.
And like don't come like in my bubble, like at work for no, like you don't need to get that close to me.
Yeah, like when they lean over your shoulder when you're at your desk, you're like, why is this happening?
Yeah, you're like, what? Like, what do you want? Like, get it, like just back up.
Yes. That's stranger.
Like unless we're like friends and you're telling me like a secret in my ear, like do not get that close to me.
Secret in my ear. Yeah. I mean, even in then, I wouldn't do that just to a friend because that would be weird. But yes,
I know. I'm just saying, like,
yeah. One that I recognize that is very different between like where we are and south of the border is holding the door for the person that's coming in behind you.
Do they not do that in?
That's very different
In the U.S.?
No.
Oh,
they do not. I'm not saying that maybe more, I want to say like liberal states might, like maybe that happens in California, but like as a whole, like traveling and then being around people from like the States and stuff, you can see how different we are from those kind of norms. They're like slam it behind them. They'll be like, fuck you, take care of yourself.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, if you're like 2 steps from the door, we will wait and hold the door or like push it open so it's like open for you when you get there kind of thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just like, it's just natural. It's just like at a base minimum of like altruistic things you can do that cost you nothing, right? You lose nothing by doing it. It's just like, yeah, I'm going to hold the door. I'm not an asshole.
But there are times I will admit that I didn't see the person behind me and that I didn't open the door for them. Like I did like keep the door open and then I like felt bad.
Sure. Well, there's times when I don't want people following me into the elevator, so I close the elevator as soon as I get in. It happens.
I was going to say that too.
Everything is required.
I definitely like just hold my finger on the close button of those doors of the elevator.
Yeah. But if we're talking about ratios, 80 to 90% of the time, I'm not going to do that. But there's some days that I will.
Yeah. Depends on the day.
Depends on the day.
I would say Chris and I used to work together. And for this one especially, when people don't clean up after themselves in the office, like particular like in the kitchen, when they don't like clean up their own like crap or mess.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Just put it in the sink.
Like, if you don't do that at home, like, that's fine. But, like, we're in a shared space. Like, come on.
Totally. Well, even those are the same people that won't clean up after themselves if they go to, like, a food court. They just, like, get up and walk away and leave the tray on the table.
Right. Probably. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, what? Like, that shit is wild.
Truly. Oh, you know it's wild? When people don't cover their mouth when they cough or sneeze. Nowadays, like, okay, people.
Yeah.
We're in post-COVID. We're in flu season right now. Do not sneeze. And you're not covering your mouth in any sort of way. Do not cough into the air that I'm currently breathing in without you trying to cover yourself. Like, no.
And even if you don't believe in COVID, it doesn't mean you don't believe in getting sick. So let's not play this game of like natural selection immunity bullshit. Like, I'm not interested in getting COVID, a cold, the flu, or pneumonia. So you should still be fucking covering your mouth when you cough or sneeze. Or you should be doing it in your elbow, people. We learn this in daycare nowadays.
Absolutely.
Or also when people burp and don't say excuse me.
Or fart.
Or fart. And I don't have like, what is that? But what's that smell? The smell is you, ma'am.
Like, that's fine. We're all humans. We all do those, bodily function sounds. But just like, that's up to it. Just say, excuse me. And then we're over it. If no one says excuse me, it's going to be awkward. There's going to be tension. It's going to be awkward. Ugh.
Oh my God. I have a story for this, actually. I don't know if I should share it. Many, many moons ago, I worked with a lady who had a colostomy bag. So for those that don't know, that's when either you have a blockage to your intestines don't function, or something happens where now you have to like poop in like a bag that like sticks onto your stomach, right?
Yeah.
And something had happened to her recently that this whole this process for her was new, and we were in a meeting one time. And so she can't control, you can still be flatulent when you have this, but it's through this hole in your stomach. So you can't like squeeze your butt cheeks to hold it in or anything like that because you have no control. And it sounds crazy when it happens. So we just hear this weird like expulsion of air, and then like the most rancid smell fills the room, and the room was tiny. And we all knew it was her for obvious reasons. And then she was a very fair lady. She was a blonde, fair lady. And her face just went like beet red, but she doesn't say anything. Oh, she literally doesn't say anything in the meeting. And I'm like, this is more awkward because she won't acknowledge it.
Yeah. Well, she probably was really, really embarrassed.
Yeah. Which I get. But at the same time, we were all aware of her situation too, right? So I feel like we know that you have this bag and like it's a whole thing. So also you could have been like, I'm sorry, and then like excuse yourself and then like come back when you're like put together. It's not like you like your body worked regular and you farted and you're just like, please don't let anybody smell it. It's like the room was too small for all of us. There was like 10 of us in a room that's only supposed to fit 6, right? So like there's no getting around it.
Yeah.
So yeah, just say, if you get a little flatulent, just say, excuse me.
And then everyone will move on. It's fine.
Yeah. I think that speaks to another one of my pet peeves that has like become more prominent lately for me at work is like people's hygiene or lack of hygiene.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wouldn't imagine that in 2023, one, they're still forcing people to come back in the office, but two, that people think that hygiene is like optional. Like taking a shower every day is like that's something you should be doing if you have to be around other people, and brushing your teeth.
Right.
Because the amount of times that I'm either around somebody that hasn't taken a shower or definitely has not brushed their teeth is too many, considering I have to go into an office.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's disrespectful. And then if you come in wearing like basically your pajamas, it's even worse.
Oh my God. Like, no.
Like dress appropriate for the occasion.
Truly. You know what creeps me out? If I'm taking like public transit or a train or an airplane too, and like people will like take off their like socks or shoes or just do some nasty shit. It's like, no.
Barefootedness.
No. That's disgusting.
Gross.
No one wants to see that. Stop.
Also, one that's bad, but not as bad as the barefootedness out in public spaces is shoes in the house and shoes on furniture. That's very different where we're from versus south of the border. We do not by any means, as Canadians, have shoes on any tabletop surface. Definitely not on furniture, beds, couches, ever. And shoes generally come off at the front door.
Yeah. I think you're completely right. I think, us Canadians, as soon as we walk into the house, we take our shoes off. They don't leave the front hall.
No. And I would say culturally, like most cultures are like that, except for the US. I would almost wager that.
Gotcha.
Or they're like, no, I got poop on my shoe. Definitely, let's crawl in the bed because I'm trying to make a fashion statement. It's like, what?
Oh.
Ew. I don't even like wearing my outside clothes when I get inside. Like, I change it to inside clothes.
Same. Who doesn't?
If you know, you know. A lot of people. Inside clothes people.
First thing I do when I get home, I take my shoes off. I go upstairs. I take my outside clothes off. I put comfy clothes.
Yes. Girl, this is why we're friends. Like, the base is there. Like, ew.
Truly. Well, I feel like we could talk about this topic for hours. So is there any other ones that you really want to share with everyone before we should go?
I don't have any burning ones. As always, listeners, pipe in, tell us the things that are social norms or etiquette for you. Tell us if you disagree and you want to fight. Like, I'm up for anything. You can always engage and give us your comments on our social media channels. We include the link to all of them in every podcast episode description to make it easy for you to follow us and talk with us. If you like what you're hearing, as always, give us a follow. Want to hear us continue to record these episodes for you, give us a rating. Make it easy for you to listen. Toggle that button into auto download so the episodes are there at the ready for you when you are ready to listen to us.
Awesome. And we are still continuing 12 pods of Christmas. So, Krista, I will see you tomorrow for day number 7.
Oh, yeah. See you tomorrow, girl.
Bye.
Bye.